A lot of you always hear from real estate influencers how they buy properties with none of their own money. But what does that actually mean? How do I actually do it? I'm gonna walk you through a step-by-step process of how to buy a creative acquisition deal that becomes a short-term rental with none of your own money. The first step is finding a property. Now, if you don't have the time to be able to learn how to find deals, one of the things you can do is go to wholesalers. And these are individuals who actually will find and negotiate deals for you, put them under contract, and then will take a small commission from you to be able to buy the deal that they've negotiated. So I can go and I can find and source a wholesaler that has a property on really good terms. And the best part about it is when it's a creative deal, I don't need to go to a bank. I don't need credit, none of that. I can just buy this contract from this wholesaler to be able to find a deal. The next step, right, is once you've identified a good deal, I'm assuming that you've already checked out your market, you've already checked out the data, you've done an underwriting to make sure it's going to be a cash flow asset, you understand all of your numbers. The next step is finding the money, right? And this is what we call capital partners. There are a lot of capital partners who are in your inner circle. This could be your dad, this could be your grandma, this could be your best friend, this could be your CPA. There's a lot of people that have money that is sitting idly, whether it's in a HELOC, whether it's in a bank account and it's cash that's just sitting there making no money, or sometimes it's a self-directed IRA, it's a retirement account. There's a lot of people that have a lot of cash on hand and they're just looking for a good place to put the money. And so once I found a good deal through a wholesaler on terms, I can then go and find a capital partner who will give me the money to execute the deal, right? I can put together a plan on the down, the furnishings, closing costs, and everything else to be able to purchase this property that I found from a wholesaler. And then all I'm doing is I'm just cutting them in on the equity. So this could be, for your first deal, a 50-50 split, where I'm just finding the deal, putting it together, and then the last is operating, right? Operating a property at a high level, being able to understand the algorithms, the designs, the amenities, all of these things that make a good cash flowing asset. That is going to be your role. You are going to, in exchange for expertise, putting the deal together, operating the property, managing it, you're gonna be able to do all of that in exchange for finding somebody with the money and cutting them in on the equity. This is a step-by-step process of how you buy real estate with none of your own money. I didn't understand it until I actually participated in this. And this is essentially all that I do, is I help people with money get into real estate without them having to learn all the nuances of how to play this game. If you are wanting to learn the details of how we find wholesalers, of how you find capital partners, of how you operate a short-term rental at a high level, I have a 15-minute training that I put together specifically for you to be able to understand this in detail. And if you want access to it, just go ahead and DM me the word reveal and I'll shoot it your way.